Hi, Garfield High School Vietnam Era Monument Committee. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you today. I too have a board meeting for my education foundation. But I wanted to talk to you and explain what I think would be some next steps for your committee. A little bit about myself. I'm Jose's daughter, as you know. And in the past 3.5 years, after stepping away from the newsroom as an investigative producer, I have been working with many nonprofits. I sit on 2 boards. I really cut my teeth on the PTA, learning how to run a nonprofit, what paperwork needs to be done, and I just recently created an education foundation for the Downey Unified School District. So sorry if my phone moves a little bit. Anyways, really quickly, this I want to help you with pro bono. It's just some next steps for you, and I think what's really going to be important is for you all to take some precautionary steps so that you're protected. As board members, you are all liable. Should anything occur, you get sued. Something happened, you personally could be at fault. So that's why this is important, of course, for my parents, my family, for all of you, and all the wonderful things you have done for the community and for veterans overall. So if you've already gone through the first half of your agenda, moving on to the committee's future. I have done some research and background on the nonprofit East Los Angeles Vietnam Vets Organization. It is a filed nonprofit through the state of California. It took out its corporation papers as a nonprofit. It has not yet been approved as an IRS nonprofit or has gotten its nonprofit letter of determination from the IRS. As you can see, I have printed out a business search entity detail. It's there. It has its corporate number. This is from the California Secretary of State. Its number is C3909800. You will note that this corporation's creation was founded or made active on May 20th. So it's not here on this paper, but I have another one. The agent of service is Mr. Carlos Venegas. Oh no, it is there. Registration date 5/20/16. So essentially, he created this corporation under his name. Now, when you create a corporation, you have 90 days, if not 30. I am not quite sure, but it's one of those two where you have to create, file a statement of information with the state of California. This was never created, and it has been well past 30 and 90 days. So already this corporation, the East Los Angeles Vietnam Vets, is out of compliance. The reason that's important is because the California Statement of Information lists its officers. And to be a corporation, you need to have 3 directors, a president, a secretary, and a treasurer. And papers are filed and signed by these individuals when a statement of information is sent. So that's one thing. Another thing that is key to this corporation, East Los Angeles Vietnam Vets, is that you have to have articles of creation, or in other words, they are your bylaws, they are your corporate codes, and these have to be accepted and signed by your 3 directors, or once they are created and sent forth to the IRS for this letter of determination. They're called organizing papers, which we also can call them bylaws. They could be the same or slightly different. Anyways, I asked several times, it sounds like nobody has signed anything like this from the committee in terms of Jose, Salomon, Bob Tapia, anybody else that's on this. So therefore, either there have been forgeries or they went without, which is what I think. They went to the IRS without any kind of signatures or information. And that would mean that your committee is completely separate, independent, severed. You owe nothing to this corporation. This corporation owes you nothing. So it's a moment of complete severance. It's a moment of separation. It's a moment of cutting ties and moving on, ladies and gentlemen, just leaving it alone. I think you have your focus and your work to do as a committee and deciding what you want for your future. So I wanted to report that to you. I wanted to give you that peace of mind. I wanted to recommend that it be put to rest and move on. Now, moving on. You should have accepted the minutes, approved them, and filed them from your your February 7th meeting. Going forward, you have your president, Jose Salomon, your vice president, Bob Tapia, and your treasurer, Mr. Louis Audelo. If you look at the copy from your website of your front page, who you are and your purpose. Your purpose has been accomplished. So congratulations. You guys have all put in your time, your effort, and have built your monument, have put names on your monument, are continuing to add veteran names to your monument. So the biggest accomplishment has been achieved, and now you must move forward and see what your future is. So you need a new mission. You need to figure out what your new mission is. You need to create a new goal and a new timeline. So whatever your goal may be, whatever you decide as these veterans who have honored past veterans, you need to decide now what you want to do moving forward. And you need to think about it in the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years. All of you picture yourself, what you want to do, where you will be in 3 years, where you will be in 5 years, who will be with you in that amount of time. Now, suggestions. If your new mission is become a steward of this monument, you take care of it, you add names to it, you continue to gather more veterans to honor, that could be your mission. The idea moves forward on how it will be maintained, who will take care of it, who will pay for that, which I would assume is you as a committee. And will the money be a check dispersed to the district for the cleaning of it? Will it be dispersed to an outside company who you contract and the district approves of to do? And you have to think of that in perpetuity, meaning 5 years out, 10 years out, etc. Other goals I've heard are scholarships. That's wonderful, and I think it's important. But again, it has to be a well thought out plan in terms of who qualifies, how you will accept applications, when you will turn out and give your first scholarship, and how much will those be for? Will they be children of veterans? Will they be students from Garfield High School? Will they be grandchildren of Vietnam veterans, great grandchildren? These are things you have to be specific and think about. I created something called the personal narrative. You should also have this document in front of you. It's sort of a worksheet to help you sit around and answer the questions and decide what you want to do. Your description, your goals, your impact, how will you know you made a difference? Sometimes these are hard or frustrating questions to answer, but just be simple. The simpler, the better. But you should answer these questions. And not to go very much longer and winded, you need to get a fiscal partner. You have all really tapped in and touched your community. You have done an amazing job fundraising. You have those key skills to knock, and you have a good story. You have a good story. You're Vietnam veterans who want to honor other veterans. You have a fabulous story, and people want to help. But to protect yourselves again, personally, as board members, you don't want someone to come and say they took my money. You don't want someone to report that you guys are all, buying cars with this. Not that you are. Not that you even need this money.